All right, hey, let's get started on 1980s news. Hey, this week in 1980s news, as reported by Variety, the best episode of Secret Level is Pac-Man. I wanted to talk about this so badly for so long now that I'm just going to start off. This could be the anchor of the whole show, but...
Okay.
So Amazon's new 15-episode adult animated anthology, Secret Level, features original stories set within the worlds of various games. Most of them are video games, with one super cool exception. These run the gamut from classic 80s games to today's complex tactical titles. But they're adapted in somewhat surprising ways. And the best example of it is episode 6 called Pac-Man Circle. It's just a little over 10 minutes long, Kat, so you could watch it really quickly. It's available on Amazon Prime.
Prime, okay.
They've turned this game, this sort of, entree into arcade games from the early 1980s into this haunting retelling of what you just imagine as a circle eating dots being chased by ghosts. I mean, I don't have to spoil anything, but it's something else.
Oh, I'm so curious.
The story follows.
Technically, the elements are there. You have a sphere that opens and closes and eats. Ghosts exist. The maze exists. And then you throw out every other expectation you have because it goes off the rails. Yeah.
I can't wait.
I think it's been a fun experiment, right? If you didn't know what video games inspired each of them. Now, it wouldn't make it as marketable. Like, I immediately went to watch these because of I watched the ones with the games that I love, right?
Right. Of course.
But it would have been fun to say to somebody, watch this, and then afterwards say, okay,
figure it out.
What retro game does this remind you of? Now, there's no spoilers. Maybe it comes clear by the end, but most of the episode, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? But it is fantastic. The animation is great. The storytelling is fantastic. It follows, I guess briefly, the story follows a floating gold orb that's actually voiced by the Mandalorian actor Emily Swallow, who does the armorer, they call her, the one that makes the armor. She does the voice, and she's
awesome.
And she at the very beginning, she is encouraging this humanoid creature, though it's alien-like to us, to I don't think this is a spoiler, to kill and eat everything around them in order to escape the maze.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
you must eat or you will die.
Yeah. Eat or die. Okay.
It still stays
Which is what you do in Pac-Man, right?
Yes,
you eat or die.
You eat.
Yeah, according to Secret Level creator Tim Miller, who's the guy who gave us Deadpool and he directed Deadpool, he directed Terminator, Dark Fate. Pac-Man is a really disturbing game. He says, quote, "It's eat or be eaten. It's in the DNA." I mean, like John's pointing out, just that when you boil it down to that, that's dark.
Yeah. I never really thought about it that way, honestly. Wow.
You know what I found particularly interesting the more you know about Pac-Man, and I'll continue to not spoil it, is that we tend to think of the enemies in Pac-Man as ghosts because they have a little drapey bottom. And we call them ghosts. We just have. But they weren't initially. They were initially called monsters.
Okay.
And then because of their appearance, we then started nicknaming them ghosts, and that stuck, even to the cartoons. But they somehow blend those two things in. Like, that is a ghost, but then when you see it fully in the light, you're like, but it's attached to a monster, kind of? Like, what? Like, they even... Yeah, there's yeah, Pac-Man is harvesting entities for his repetition and practice. I don't know.
No, it's
oh my goodness.
Awesome.
It's deep.
Yes.
It's deep. You should
And
definitely
it's
check
only
it
10
out.
minutes?
Yeah. Each of these episodes is just about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Give or take.
Right.
But as far as making this, adapting this otherwise, think of a sort of a, I don't know, frivolous arcade game into this sort of, philosophical, existential, short film. Miller's team doesn't take full credit for the twist that they put on it. Instead, series executive producer and supervising director Dave Wilson credits Pac-Man creators Bandai. Wilson said, quote, "I'd love to take sole credit for why the Pac-Man episode is as troubling as it is."
Troubling.
But we got on a call with Bandai early on, and the literal mission statement from them translated was, and I guess he means literally translated, right? As in from the Japanese?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Translated was, "We would like audiences to wonder what the fuck we did to Pac-Man." Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm. They made him a sociopath. It's fantastic.
Yeah. But it wasn't until secret level head writer J.T. Petty went away for the weekend and came back with the almost final script in hand that Wilson and Miller say they had a story worthy of what Bandai had tasked them with. And the episode per Wilson is, quote, "faithful from script to final pixel," end quote. So little changes. He continues saying, quote, "I think we got one note from Bandai, which was there's a UGSF on the back of the character's cloak that they asked us to add. But other than that, they let us do exactly the way you see it. Let us do it exactly the way you see it," end quote.
Wow.
John, I noticed that writing. I didn't know what it was or what it meant.
I don't either.
I had to go hunting.
It doesn't jump to mind.
Yeah.
Oh, did
I
you
mean,
know what it
something.
means?
Is it the corporate DNA? I don't recognize it from the game. It's not initials of characters.
It turns out in 1990, during the development of Galaxian 3, they decided to create this world that they referred to as UGSF, the United Galaxy Space Force. So they essentially created a fictional world that they have crowbarred all of their video games into somehow.
Oh, okay.
And this world became the foundation to their outlook, future development of and prior development of their video games. Since then, the UGSF series have unfurled new frontiers within this world, but they've also used characters from prior games. They've squeezed them into new games to create a sort of, shared universe. One example I have here is that characters from Dig Dug and Star Ixiom appear in the puzzle game Mr. Driller.
Sure.
So they started doing more and more things like that to establish this larger world.
Okay.
How did I never know that? Now, I obviously I noticed the weird, symbols and iconography appering in other games, but I'm just like, it's Namco.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the
UGS,
Namco cinematic universe that they were building.
And there's a website you can go to, ugsf-series.com. It doesn't look like it's been updated in a few years, but like the mission statement of the, this website, it says, like, this is the documentation for the unspoken world of it. So the fact that you don't know about it, I'm not surprised. Apparently it's not something probably appears in any manual, or any stories that they publish related to these things.
So why was it important to put in there?
Well, the suggestion is this UGSF is a space world, and the look and feel of this episode is somewhere that's not Earth. So that's my guess.
Okay.
It's kind of tonally, it's like a blending of like a zombie movie and an alien.
Oh, okay.
Alien the film, not
Yes.
a random alien, not nanu, but
Not your favorite.
yeah, it's dark and gritty and greasy and bloody and and it's Pac-Man.
Yeah. Oh,
Do.
maybe I'll show it to my wife and just see if I can. What do you think this is based on?
Like you're right. Have her watch. Don't show the title.
Yeah.
Have her watch it
Right.
without knowing what's going on. Right.
Ooh.
I don't know if she'd get through all the viscera, when he's fighting and eating, because he eats. He's got to eat or be eaten.
He does.
Eats.
Ooh.
Is your wife a vegan? Is that why she wouldn't like it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Doesn't eat ghosts. Whatever that.
Because they're eating meat
whatever that.
of animals.
Whatever doesn't eat ghosts is. That's what she is.
What is
A
that?
paranormal investigator, maybe. I don't know.
Who are you going to call? Meat Busters.
I beat my meat or bust. I bust my meat.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I beat it and then I bust it. I don't know.
Bit of a,
Busting makes
bit
me
of a
feel
Freudian
good,
slip.
guys.
Well, you got to tenderize it before
Yes.
you understand.
It's so hard. I got to soften it up.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, that's ironic. Hey, if you don't care for Pac-Man, in addition to that game, Secret Level also includes episodes inspired by Warhammer, Unreal Tournament, and Dungeons and Dragons. And it also boasts an impressive lineup of actors across its season 1 episodes, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kevin Hart, Keanu Reeves, and Tamora Morrison. 8 of the 15 episodes that we're going to be able to see are available on Amazon Prime right now.